everybody. This is Jake from Pikes Peak Christian Church. I just wanted to share a little thought out of Judges chapter 2. And I know that if you've already read it, it's kind of a difficult chapter to read, as it's talking about how displeased God is with Israel and how that they've decided to step away from God and his teachings, and that because of that, they kind of entered into this cycle of going into captivity. And then at the end of the chapter, we see that God brought these judges in to release them from that and bring them back home, hopefully to follow God after that. But what's interesting about this chapter to me, and what really struck me hard, was that about halfway through the chapter, we see that there was a second generation of Israelites that were being born and being raised up. And the Bible specifically tells us that this generation was not taught the ways of God. They weren't taught how to follow after God. They weren't taught what it meant to love God and have a relationship with Him. They weren't taught all the amazing, powerful things that He had done for Israel in the past. And as a result, they didn't have a solid relationship with Him because it wasn't built on anything. And to me, that kind of convicted me about what am I doing then to spread my faith? What am I doing to show other people the amazing things that God has done in my life? What am I doing to lead the next generation or even my peers into a relationship with Him that is meaningful, that is passionate, that's founded on the truth of who He is? What am I doing to do that? And it hit me really hard that I'm not maybe doing enough. And the scary thing about that is the consequence that we see in Judges chapter 2 is that if we don't raise up a generation that's passionate about God, if we don't raise up a generation that knows about who He is and how to have a relationship with Him, then they're destined to walk away from Him. They're destined to be in this life of captivity. And although in today's world it might not be captivity in the literal sense, it's in the real sense where they can be held captive to despair and depression. They can be held captive to addictions. They can be held captive to a cycle of abuse or a cycle of divorce. And really the answer to that is Jesus Christ. So I feel like I have the responsibility to tell the next generation, to tell my peers, to tell those around me about Jesus, because that's the only way they can ever be released from this captivity. So as you go through your week this week, I hope that encourages you. I hope that it helps you to take a step forward in your faith. I hope it helps you to dive into this epic story of Jesus, to say yes to Him and to share with other people about your faith, share with other people what God has done in your life, so that they can have a dynamic relationship with Him and be freed from the captivity. Thanks and God bless.